Stanford in 125 nel 1952. E poi il ritorno a 8 iridi del figlio il prodigo Bialy, i capolavori perfetti del polivalente John Surtees, il 1961 d'oro dell'eterno secondo Gary Hawking. E ancora le magie del compianto Mike the Bike Elwood, della doppietta di Phil Reed, l'insuperabile epopea di Giacomo Agostini. Record su record, giri veloci, gare mozzafiato, mondiali da protagonista e soprattutto milioni di tifosi innamorati di quelle due lettere e che la bramavano in tutto il mondo. Ma la destinazione è finalmente giunta, la lunga attesa è finita. 42 anni dopo, come due amici che si rabbracciano dopo tanto tempo, come l'emozione di due ragazzini che il primo amore non lo scordano e lo rincontrano una vita dopo, è come se tutto tornasse finalmente al proprio posto. MV Agusta è tornata 15.533 giorni dopo e non un secondo di più.
My dear, it's easy for us to understand that very often you can actually go well beyond just a beautiful object. You may actually pay full respect to an iconic object, not only because there's craftsmanship, because there's a long story behind it. There's something that perhaps we can't even explain, just comes natural, isn't it? Very true. And Sandro, because we're speaking to something natural now, we'll be projecting that furthermore into the future, and we'll start getting to know guests, those people who are making all this project possible. From Forward Racing, Giovanni Cuzzari, team owner from Forward Racing. So welcome Giovanni. Apologies, actually, Sandro, he said you're team owner, but you are actually the true leader. I know that you like to be called as such. Yes, I do, indeed, because leader is the one that fights with all of them. And I do remember where I'm from, so I love to be with all of them in the midst, you know, and see they're all smiling here in the front row. So, Giovanni, while we're introducing this evening, the idea was to provide some highlights around what happened. The journalists who know a lot about motorcycles more than us. But if you were to tell something to our audiences, so what is that we're talking about, right? It is perhaps interesting to say, well, this is an historical brand. 70, 75, 38, 37, those are the numbers that you must have in mind, that you must clearly remember. So July 30, Misano Adriatico, we were online on Sky Sport 208 MotoGP. We were unveiling the project, and Morten was there as well. November 28, test in Resta della Frontera, another milestone. So throughout that time period, how did you get organized? We have decreased number of sleep and we have increased working hours to get till today, to this gem, to this jewel that is going to be unveiled. Thanks to this working team, who I will thank to death, we've been able to do everything from wind galleries to suspension to absorbers and so on, anything that is needed. So, brand new project, but considering the importance of this name, what are the objectives for the season? Well, objectives have been set by this guy with a beard, so whose name is Giovanni, just like myself. And so what were you saying again? Well, so I was given objectives by Giovanni, and he said, we're taking our responsibility, but we have to live up to expectations. And this is why, for the past 12 months, we've been working on this project very deeply, very profoundly, professionally. And thanks to CRC and Giovanni and his team and his people, we really reached out to very good achievement. So, Giovanni, if you can stand so that everybody can see Giovanni Castiglioni. So is that true that you exercised a bit of a pressure? Isn't that? No, that's not true. Let me tell you that he did it because we made the bike, we made a motorcycle, but he's been the crazy guy really here. And Giovanni, now without delving too much into companies' dynamics, but when we decided to tell about the history of your family, like in a book, chapter after chapter, you want to find out, did we get any close to what you have experienced? Well, you surely did. There's like the 50 Shades of Grey, you know? Then the red came and the black came. So we carry on, and that's fine, just like the book. I'm so very happy, excited, honored of being here. It is a truly difficult project. It is a brand that has pretty much won everything. And Giacomo's there as well. A round of applause. Of course, this has been always a winning motorcycle, a winning brand. It won't be easy because we started from scratch back again. You know, MV has won everything, so it looks like we're about to win again, but that's not necessarily to be taken for granted. So we'll meet at some racing tracks for sure. Thank you, Giovanni Castiglioni. You stay here with us, please, because we would like you to stay here for me to invite another important person, shareholder from title sponsor, Luigi Scavone. She wanted to emphasize shareholder. So, good evening, Luigi. Good evening and welcome. Can I call you Luigino, the abbreviation of Luigi? Of course you can. So before I actually go for a few quick questions, there's a short video that we're playing, and then help me understand whether this video can really tell about the beautiful synergy in your team, amongst your people, and what you're about to do. Come on this side. I know you wish you could be with me.
Buongiorno. Siamo qui per un lavoro.
Il tuo percorso, che cosa vorresti fare, insomma, quali sono i tuoi obiettivi professionali, insomma, così capiamo insieme come indirizzare un po' la tua candidatura. Quindi insomma ti lascio la parola e raccontami un po'. Allora ragazzi, come vi dicevo, i colloqui sono andati benissimo, l'azienda vi vuole prendere, però sull'abbigliamento non ci siamo, per questo tipo di lavoro insomma non va tanto bene.
Cosa? Ma noi preferiamo questo.
Adesso sì, adesso ci siamo, ok, ottimo.
Perché questo è il momento in cui hanno trovato lavoro. Quindi questa è l'azione. Abbiamo il lavoro giusto per voi, ma dovete essere professionali, veloci, molto veloci.
So, actually, is that really any chance for us then to find a job and end up riding the motorcycle? Well, congratulations on your video. It was really, really nice. Well, you have to be fast enough. Yes, we wanted to be there last year, and because MV and what it stands for in history, in the history of motorcycles, of course, we couldn't just miss this opportunity. I met with Giovanni today, and we told him that we'll be next to them, and as all large companies do, of course, you try to improve the whole time as you carry forward. Of course, MV is starting from a big brand, from a prestigious brand, so they don't need to demonstrate anything. It's just that they need to go back to do what they were very good at in the past. And this perhaps is a very good question to turn to Gianni Scaperotta, your general manager. So how close is the world of temporary work agencies? How close it is to the world of sport? Well, it is very close, because we do have a team, a basketball team, one from Trieste, which was attending the championship last year. The world of sport, the world of young generations, of course, it has to be close to sport. By definition, sport is a healthy activity, and it is doing well to everybody. Yes, it is a worldwide thing that you actually like to experience and live in a kind of a family-oriented manner, because you like to team up with people, don't you? I understand that this is very much your guidelines. Yes, we're a large family, and hopefully we'll be a large family also with MV Agusta. So all together, striving towards the same objective. And in this case, we want to win. Well, Luigi, every time you're doing something, sports results are there, sports achievements are there. So what are your expectations this year? Well, then I bring luck. Looks like I bring luck, so I should get some money for that. Well, jokes aside, I just can't wait for achievements, and I'm pretty positive that MV will do. It is a great victory already that we see around again. Well, let me be the journalist here and ask the question. So, because we're becoming increasingly interested in that, and let's say the good achievements, good results are there, how about this project? Will that grow further on? Will that become even more important in the future? It has to. Well, that's objective. It's not that we hope for it, but it must. It must. Thank you. Thank you, Luigi Scavone, title sponsor. You stay be here with us, because when speaking about growth and growing pilots, of course, we have to mention Academy. Academy is an important training project for pilots, for riders, but also it stands out as a passion and love that Valentino Rossi experiences for this sport. So, Uccio on stage, the 46 Raiders Academy, Uccio, whom I left in Malaysia a few days ago. I know he's back. I happened to see him a few moments ago. There he is. He was parking his bike. So, Uccio, what do you know about the 46? I mean, what is your role in that? Well, it's pretty easy with the three of us. We're not too many. Yeah, but you're a manager, aren't you? Oh, you're very good. You're doing a great job. And well, I can't say myself. What results say it for you? Stefano Manzi, he's a great pilot. Collaboration has been going on with Gianni and forward, and I'm so very happy that MV is back again, and I'm also very happy that Academy is part of it, because Stefano is an Italian pilot and he's representing motorsport from Italy all around the world. So we'll see what's happening, and hopefully things will work out to be good. We have to be some patient perhaps at the beginning, and Stefano will have to be, just like the rest of the team. Uccio, we do know also there has been quite an interesting relationship in the past amongst you with some easy stories, funny stories. Well, very difficult sometimes. Yes, we end up in some arguments every now and then, but I guess that's pretty normal. But let's say there's full respect amongst us, and like it happens in life, of course, we do happen to have argument and debate with each other, but that's it. Well, last year in Malaysia, Ucho was telling me off a lot, and I still have wounds from that. But that's not true. Come on, I just try to share my experience, and as little as it might be, I try to share my experience with Gianni, and sometimes it really drives me nuts. Let me say, no, I'm just kidding. Well, but he's the bad one. So he's the bad one. But I've heard about funny stories as well. Yes, there's some funny stories, but of course the collaboration is sound, is well established. It's been going on for many years, and I'm pretty sure we'll be able to support from an academic viewpoint the ambitious project that Gianni has. And jokes aside, I've seen the motorcycle. It is fantastic. It is fabulous in a nutshell. So just the truck is waiting and start the engine on. So were you cherishing MV as a younger person? Well, I'm a bit too young, to cherish MV in my younger years. But I did start to follow motorcycles when I was 10 years old, and I remember my father would speak thoroughly about it, and then I was fully documenting myself. What should I say? It's an historical brand worldwide. One last question for Ucho, just back from Malaysia when we met, by the way. And because I actually interviewed you, and you were on this long trip back, also with Valentino, was he happy enough with the bike? Yes, it's been a positive test. And in my view, Yamaha is very much decreasing the gap. And this is the right track, the right journey. We'll still have to work on it a bit, but it is important that we find the right way to go. We'll carry on. We were home and back with a huge smile. Thank you, Ucho. Thank you so much. So let me unveil to Cino Ferrara why I've asked this question. Amongst journalists, there are many good journalists, and Ucho is there. Perhaps he may raise some input for journalists to write more about this topic. You're a great professional. You're such a great professional. Yes, you're a very generous person as well. Very generous too. Now, Giovanni, you may take your seat for a few moments, but of course, you will be back on stage for the most important moment. We'll now leave it to the pilot, actually. Come on, guys, Stefano Manzi, Dominique Agueta, welcome. Well, I will move to Sant'Arcangelo di Romagna. So I remember mid-GP, 2 consecutive years, 2010, 2011, and mini motorcycles it started with, and then he got to Moto 2. Over the last 2 years, he's been gaining points and he's been in Sky Racing Team VM46. How about Dominic Goethe? Well, he started off from motocross and the World Championship 26, Moto 2 from 2010. Winning, being on the podium in 2014 in Germany. So to sum up your full career, which is now carrying forward with an important adventure, how are you experiencing that right now? I am very happy to join the team, MV Agusta and Ford Racing Team. We did test the bike for the very first time, and I was very positive. I got these positive feelings in winter break, and I'm preparing my winter very good. And I can't wait for the next test, which will happen this week, and soon the first race, and we're ready to race. So, expectations. Stefano, what expectations from your side? Why are you all asking this question to me? Well, that's a fairly normal question that makes sense, doesn't that? Because you've had some experience in Moto 2 already. So, let me ask you this question. So, what are your expectations? Well, the project is very ambitious. Well, that kind of goes without saying. And we will try to actually live up to the greatest expectation with F2, and we'll be on track right after testing in November. Tests were pretty good in November, so we'll see. We'll see. You're happy? I am. I'm very happy. Same question to Herr Gerter. What is the objective? You want to reach out? Of course, the objective is to be as fast as possible, front riders. And like I said, we went through a positive test, not too far in the test. So hopefully we can reduce the gap quite fast during the next test that we'll be holding soon. And fight for good positions. We have a good team behind us. The factory developed bike very quickly, very fast, and the team has gained good experience as well. I will add on my own experience to that, and hopefully we'll be part of the front groups as soon as possible. So may I just ask a very, very quick question, just a quiz around the history of MV. Dominic, can you remember three models from MV brand? Super Veloce, Brutale, F4, F3, and next one is F2. Yes, it made it. Manzi, what is last victory of MV in the World Championship? What was the year? What was the day? What was the month? And what was the track? Victory, I can't tell you, but the last one was August 29, 76. Very good. Very good boys. And Agusta, how I know you're now studying Italian, aren't you? Yes, I can understand a bit. It's still very difficult for me to speak. Very good. You're doing a good job already. Herr Goethe, you from Romford? Rombar. So you're Swiss German, right? So I was running through all these documents yesterday, and I was doing some exchanging some WhatsApp messages with Giovanni Cuzzari, and all of a sudden I come across the history of a pilot with capital P, and I realized that at some point for him to stay in MV, he did give up the car from Enzo Ferrari to go and drive a Ferrari. Now, because you can't really trust internet, I was writing at WhatsApp. I still have the WhatsApp message, and he answered that was the case, and my heart was there in that history, and I learned also that you started to win with 350 and 500, and out of these 15 titles, 13 were being won with MV, and then 2 Yamaha 74 and 75 to put the cherry on the pie and carry on with this endless love. Also, between 66 to 73, he has always won in the double category. So now, I guess you can ask him directly. A huge round of applause for Giacomo Agostini. actually counting titles 350 and 500, and I would put them together: 350, 500, 350, 500. Hi, Giacomo. Well, the water message is real, I can tell you. Yeah, he was doing some maths last night because he couldn't cope, and he was actually relying upon a calculator. Well, I tried to run through the history myself. It's been a very long story, so hopefully you're very well prepared. I can tell you that I was preparing, same as I did, to sit a university exam. So, jokes aside, what is your idea now about this new venture? Well, everybody wants me to sign, but I have no experience yet, and perhaps we shall wait for a few more years that I gain some additional experience and I'll be able to do something. So you have to bear with me. What are the feelings being raised by this project? Well, brand, MV, it's in my heart, of course. When I got the phone call from Count Agusta for us to meet in the first place, I couldn't believe my ears. I couldn't believe the offer that I was made. Riding an MV, the most important motorcycle that everybody had ridden, Hawkins, Piali. So being chosen by him, I couldn't believe it. Although I was actually waiting some 5 hours waiting time before I sign. And then after 5 hours waiting time, the Count would watch me and say, "Who are you?" He looked at me and say, "Who are you?" But Piali had recommended your name, isn't that? Yes, that was the case. And then I said my name, and he said, "What do you want?" Oh my goodness, I must be in the wrong place. But then, in the end, he said, "Oh, okay. So can you ride my bikes?" Yes, of course you can test me, and we'll see. I was Italian champion with 250 Morini and 175. I had one enough, so I had a good reputation. Okay, so we'll test in Monza tomorrow. And I said, okay, fantastic. Got to Monza the next day, of course. I couldn't get any sleep that night. And when I got to Monza, I saw all these trucks, mechanics from all the motorcycles, and they wanted me to do gymkhanas, the same that I had done when I was 7, 8 years old. And it was some sort of a game, perhaps, that the Count wanted me to be tested upon to see whether I was really good. The relationship, it was fantastic. We all loved each other deeply. We fully respected each other. And when I left MV to transition to Yamaha, I was crying. I was literally crying because I was very sad that I was leaving a big brand. And how about Ferrari? Enzo Ferrari, I would meet him in Modena where we were testing the motorcycles, and one day he said, "Do you want to try my car?" And I did ride the car on that day, and after a few days he said, "Well, if you want to ride the car, I'll give you a car." And I did think a lot for a long time. And then I said, well, I'm winning everything in the motorcycle racing. I'm number one. I'm on podium every single week. Perhaps in the car, well, I should start all over from scratch. So no, I'll still be on the 2 wheels. Now, traditional question. So amongst all the victories that we mentioned, if you were choosing the one that stays in your heart the most, which one is that? Luckily, I have so many because I was riding bikes for many years. But perhaps the first one, the first World Championship title in Monza, something that I would never forget about, right in front of my audience, something that I had been longing for ever since I was born. If you were to say something to these two guys here, the two pilots, now you should really work out seriously and start the engine on, of course. But they know. Okay, we'll take a picture later on, take a photograph later on with the motorcycle. Now, this is very much Goose Pimple. When you interview Giacomo Agostini, we do meet lots of people. But let me tell you, there are some characters, there are some people that really trigger Goose Pimple. Valentino Rossi is another one, or John McEnroe. I could attend Wimbledon, you know, Goose Pimple, literally shivering. So, very big personalities. But let's take a look from R&D viewpoint. Let's dive into the technical specs project.
Sono i decimi che fanno la differenza.
Okay, so let's now speak through some of the technical specs of the project, and let's get into the real competition, into the real racing. So let's see who of us is getting closer to the right pronunciation of COO as well as team manager. Her name is Milena Körner. I would say that her name is Milena Körner. Where are you? Well, hopefully we pronounced it correctly. You shall tell who the winner is. Best pronunciation. It is perhaps much easier to design a trellis frame rather than pronouncing your name. Well, Sandro got my name right. Yes, he got my name better. Yeah, sometimes I let him win. So how did you structure and yourselves? And because this is very much the year zero, as well as year zero for Triumph 3 cylinders electronic support, which will be further developed over the next 2 years. So it is a brand new platform that we're starting from. Within this project, there's a new project. So how are we doing? Well, we're doing great because we're here tonight. And first of all, thanks so much for being here, for attending, and for sharing this beautiful project, this huge feeling for all of us, and this huge responsibility with F2 and Moto 2. Well, for sure, it is a brand new beginning, which has been going on for a year for us. As Giovanni anticipated, it's not that we took decision overnight. So the project started beginning of 2018. And many thanks to the team for the double work and huge efforts they've made over the last 12 years. Development, tests, endless number of hours of commitment from all of us. So very much huge recognition and tribute to all of them. When we were speaking about it through that in the backstage, I was asking you, what's the list of things that you do? You have an endless list of items and tasks. So what is the backstage or the behind the scenes of what you do? I would say that the very big difference this year versus previous years as a private team, and and in our relationship with suppliers, you have to take care of each and every detail yourself. So there's nobody really providing the one-stop shop, so to speak, and Mauro for sure will explain further on in details the way it works, how many vendors, how many suppliers we rely upon, and how many we shall recognize a special tribute for us to be here. So thank you so much, Milena Kerner. So we'll see you on track. Yeah, we can't wait to see you in Qatar. Well, she put them all on the right track, one after the other, one by one. Mauro, technical manager. He's also a head of technicians from Dominica Gerter. Historical name. He's worked with an endless number of pilots. I have to ask him about trellis, frame, the engine, three-cylinder engine. Mauro Noccioli, I'm sure, will be able to tell me more about it. How is it going? Welcome, Mauro. How's it going? We're just going. We're just going for the next championship. So trellis frame is an MV project from the frame, as you said, still aluminum frame. We tried also to fully respect designs from MV, and that's the key thing, because we do have a heritage also from a design viewpoint that we wanted to preserve. So very similar specifications in terms of pipings, in terms of chassis and everything else. And very rapidly, three-cylinder. What does that mean, three-cylinder engine? What is that? Is there more of a natural combination? What do you think? Well, MV has already gained huge experience on three cylinders. From four cylinders Honda to three cylinders, what changes is the torque, is the engine torque, and strokes will be much faster compared to the past, because that is a key feature from three cylinders. MV has already gained experience in the past, as I said, and although this is a Triumph engine, but I'm pretty sure will work out. So one last question. Is that obvious that KTM and others have huge budget and know-how, but starting from this base, there can be any room for improvement, for development, and to grow and become even more competitive? I can tell you that ever since I've done this job, I started to be in this industry. Well, let me tell you that there's always room for improvement. And that's exactly what I try to do. And motorcycles, end of season, you believe that you kind of stretched it to the edge, but that's not the case. You will grow them further as long as you have time available. You know, this is why I believe it is important to have time available. We do have know-how, knowledge, and I believe we're truly strong in MV, in CRC, and this is crucial for our future. This is key as well for our future. Well, if Mauro agrees that I step into this conversation, Mauro, I know that you're very happy with tests from Eret. Maybe not super satisfied, but perhaps a bit more than what you were expecting. Yes, indeed. Well, let's say that by default I tend to be negative, and November test was providing good results that I was not expecting, and that's very true. But this doesn't mean that we're going to sit and wait. No, of course, more tests are on the go, are coming soon, so ready to have some sleepless night. Well, you know, like a little ant, I've been taught to do that. What star sign are you? I'm fish. Because Jupiter, you know, is there along with Uranus. Now, jokes aside, try to be as positive as you can. Hang on, just bear with me for a few seconds, because now you'll be welcomed on stage with the whole team. Now, my fault, actually. Before I call you, there's one last chapter, which is the one before the unveiling, that is as important because it is an adventure that it can be told about around communication and marketing. I'd love to call on stage external communication manager from MV racing team, as well as marketing and communication manager Carlo Pernat and Martina Muzzari. Carlo, now get ready to share a story around Carlo Castiglioni or around MV. Martina shall tell us about behind the scenes of the last week. Carlo, come on, you have to be really fast. It is a pleasure and honor for me to be here and to be part of this new adventure. I would like to say hello to Giacomo. He's also a dear good friend from TV. I wish he could be a good companion on motorcycle. I can't ride a motorcycle. So what's the story? What's the story that you want to tell us? So one beautiful moment when I was working in Cagiva from 1984 till 90, I was responsible for sport activities in Cagiva. We would take care of Paris-Dakar, and so on. And if a magician would tell me to stop time, actually I would stop time in those 6 years because they have been marvelous years. The story. Well, back then, Castiglioni brothers, they were simply fabulous. They were European motorcycles against Japan, the only challenge that was in place. If bikes nowadays are at this level, and I'm speaking through sport bikes, 80% of it is due to the two brothers. In 86, they were purchasing Ducati, which was completely knocked out, and they were purchasing one, and then they purchased in something else in 86. And 98, although Giovannino perhaps won't remember about it, one day Gianfranco and Claudio they came and said, you know what, we bought brand MV in 88. What are you going to do about it? Well, we'll just keep it there. Yes, they did keep it there, and 99 ready to go back again. Perhaps many of you don't know. Well, the brand was purchased in 88. Thank you, Carlo. Martina, how about you? I've got actually three questions for a single answer. You say you wanted to know something more about behind the scenes. So the Kuzzari family, how did you experience this last week? How did you live this last week? Well, wow, it's been a stressful week, I should say. Could also say that we were pretty settled. And we're very happy, we're excited, of course, and I would like to deeply thank all attendees as well as sponsor team, my father, of course, because I'm keen on reminding everybody that if my father hadn't done so much about it, this wouldn't be possible, and thanks to all the sponsors as well. So this is how we have lived over the last week, huge efforts. So good luck. Can I ask you as well, what do you expect from the season? A lot of work, and a lot of work, and that's it. I'll say no more. Thank you. Thank you, Martina. Thank you, Carlo. Along with the press office from MV, I met with Alessia Riboni and the people that I will perhaps interact with from a communication viewpoint and in our daily living, working for Sky and following Superbike, Moto2, Moto3, will be able to tell a lot. So Carlo, Martina, give us as much information as you want for us to tell as much as possible through our key presenter here, Vera, as well as through Sky platform. So Kuzzari first on stage, and then everybody else as well. Yes, we'll do beautiful parade now with all the people which are part of the team, and then the key, the crucial time has come, very close. Giovanni, how did we go? How did we go? You can say bad if you want. Well, the show's been great, but I knew that. I knew this, it would happen. Well, thank you, show is ready to be unveiled. Shall we call everybody else, one by one? I will call Milena, whom we just met. We won't say her last name. So can you come on stage as we call you? Mauro Noccioli, Daniele Gianni, Stefano Ottaviani, David Manfro, Luca Capocchiano, Giampaolo Sossai, Giacomo Silvestri, Mirko Fiuzzi, Luciano Zaza, Luciana Caneva, Corrado Ficucello, Pierpaolo Venditelli, Martina Pozzeri, please back on stage, Carletto Pernat, back on stage, Veronica Del Sole, Matteo Mannati, Gabriele Lusco, Mauro Moranzoni, and the two pilots, right? Dominique Aguerter and Stefano Manzi. Everybody on stage, as this is your moment. Now we shall be orchestra maestros here. So Giovanni is coming over with the two pilots. You shall be standing here for me. Luigi Scavone will be standing here on the right hand side. Please, Luigi, come over. I will disclose, I will unveil something else. Dominic, let's dim down the lights. So the third stroke, at the third stroke, you're responsible here for this entire thing. So the third stroke, upon the third stroke, we will unveil. You ready? You ready? So the new adventure is now starting. MV Agusta Team Forward Racing. A big round of applause and congratulations and good luck to the MV team, forward team. Now, time for photographs. And we'll close with a very small surprise. So, photographs. Vera, what you are now left with? Well, Martina, she is better than Stanley Kubrick when she's playing the director's role in the photograph session. Marvelous team with whom we worked for a presentation. I can't imagine how beautiful would that be for the next upcoming season, which we wish them is going to be the best ever. Well, this is very nice wish. I had fun. It was really interesting and fun to delve into details of such a passionate story. Well, let me unveil something behind the scene. It's easy sometimes to speak to cameras and you find out you have millions of people watching you. But you know, this is not a camera, this is the audience, and you can tell, you can grab their reactions to their through their faces and smiling, and hopefully we've been able to deliver an interesting contribution tonight. More photographs are still being taken. Ready for Qatar. March 10, new season, MotoGP, Moto2, Moto3 will start Thursday. Press conference with pilot will follow that as well, will be there as well officially, and the Agusta Forward Racing Adventure will start. We'll take some additional photographs later, but let's set all these people free. I would like to call Giovanni for a surprising closing, and a big round of applause to everybody. Good luck to the pilots. Good luck and congratulations, of course. Giovanni, if you can join me here. So we'll give him this microphone. So we're about to close this event. There's a surprise. It's a present. This is a present, small gift that means to engage and involve even more those who give us these great opportunities. Let's allow all these people to get off the stage. 29 people are part of the team. Yeah, very good team. Martina, you can stay here with us. Along with Giovanni and with Radmir, with the company, we have thought, we've considered what might be the best way to engage a sport passionate such as Luigi Scavone, who already knows a lot and supports a lot extensively, even more, and not only on motorcycles racing. So, along with Giovanni, we decided to give these two cancers, one on the right hand side and one on the left hand side, and let's see if there's mail for you. Oh, that's a nice gift. That's a nice gift. Well, but it's got two, because there are two partners, so he can now choose the one that he likes the most. Oh, that is indeed a nice present. So, Luigi, we have thought that we could make an one-off with your initials as opposed to F2 LS Luigi Scavone. This is for you. So where do you want me to take this motorcycle? Over to Rome? Well, I was just kidding. Well, not bad. Well, that's fantastic. Thank you. Thank you, Giovanni. We're now closing the event. Well, now that very much looks like a racing bike, but do not exaggerate, Luigi, because we still need you on board. So before final greetings, we should also celebrate birthday of a person here tonight. So so many happy birthday to Cino Ferrara. Happy birthday, Ciro. So he will soon ride a bike as well, I'm pretty sure. I can't wait to see Ferrara on track as well. So thank you everybody. Thank you for attending. And there's food and drinks for you to make the most of. I would like to leave Giovanni and Martina to close with thanks. I might repeat myself all over again, but and what should I say to people in the first row? We've known each other for 8 to 10 years with many of you. You will have to bear with me for the upcoming year, but we have a great responsibility this time. We'll have to do the most of it thanks to the brand of these gentlemen here. So thank you all. Thank you, Luigi. New adventure for me. I'm so very happy and excited. You're the landlord there, and this is something that I'm also very proud of. Many thanks as well to this gentleman who I hadn't got the chance to say hi yet, Gianni Scapperotta. Starting from last year, let me tell you, he made huge efforts. We met Castiglioni together and we spoke through the academy, which has been already kind of replicated, but we'll do something about it. You have my word, I can promise. Thank you to all the investors. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Of course, the lawyers as well. Vera? Thank you so much for presenting the night with me. It's been a huge pleasure, and enjoy the rest of the evening. We'll see you on Sky back again soon.